samastat sugino bhavantu loka samastat sugino bhavantu loka samastat sugino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
And I can see that I've been like trying to create myself from some kind of idea of who I should be, like spiritually. And I've been listening a lot to you. I've been listening to your records. I listen daily to you. I've been listening to Osho, but in a way I'm still not. I still can't see who I am. And my question is then, I mean, who is identifying, and how can I see? I feel like I'm blind.
Yes. Can anybody see themselves? Would be a good question. Can anybody see themselves? Has anybody ever seen themselves? I mean, to really go into this, we have to start to break down. We have to break up the language a lot, and enter into the essence of what language is intending to convey. Has anybody ever seen themselves? First thing, we can talk about ourselves. Like, I see that I'm trying to do this. I see that I'm doing that. I see that I make these mistakes. I see that, I'm trying to create a sense of how I should be and all of these things. Whatever you can see, that will not be what I refer to as a self. Other people may refer to that as a self, They even refer to ego as a self, personality as a self, our own imaginary projections as a self. What we are conditioned to believe is ourself, they believe that is themselves, and so on, you see. So it's no wonder that mostly we are confused, at least for a while. And certainly when you begin to search, you will start to feel the weight of your confusion, which maybe we don't face if you're not particularly interested in going more deeply, you see. Until that wave of real interest and urge comes inside you to search for the truth, maybe you don't feel any particular confusion. But as soon as you begin to look, you start to realize, my God, already there's so much ideas inside my head about who I am, what I should be, what I should do, how I should go about finding myself. So we're full of it, full of so many notions and so on. So in the midst of all of that, how does one really go about to begin to embrace or open up to a genuine search for the real understanding? I mean, how do you go about it? I try to always look at the most simple thing, because I don't believe anyone can follow anything complex and it brings them to something truthful. I think that's something more that our minds will do that. We'll try and work out and read very, very elaborate ideas about who we are, where we come from, where we are going, what we should do, and all the planets and all of these things. But for me, it is something very, very, very simple. It's always been simple. So, in meeting someone like you, you're about to leave now to go back to your home, and you're still saying that after this time, I don't know, my mind is creating all these ideas about how I should be, what I should, and so on. And something knows this is not true.
Yes.
There's a knowing inside you that this cannot be it, Because if we had to go through all of these, sort of psychological gymnastics to become who we are, that cannot also be real. It must be something very simple. So I put it that what you are, what is being searched for, is what is already here. What is being searched for is what is already here. What happens is that we have a lot of ideas about what it should be. You cannot believe it's just yourself, and you don't believe. You believe also that yourself, as you have known, I don't think you feel like that's really it. So what I'm inclined to do, knowing that you are that, I'll start at saying to you, stop running after anything. Don't even try to find yourself. Like right now, I would say to you, don't even try to find yourself, because the very searching from the place where you're accustomed to looking from, the very searching also is creating itself separation and confusion, actually. So I'd want to first clean your house to kind of get all that stuff that's in there, get the mess out. And how to get the mess out is to say, look, don't refer to that anymore. That is just what's going on in your head. And you yourself say, it cannot be the stuff going on in my head. Something is going on in my head, and something goes on in everybody's head for a while. And there are some beings who will become free of that. How they can become free of that is simply, one, either by not giving attention to what's going on in their head, which very few people can do. But this way that I show, which is that whatever you are thinking or feeling or imagining or remembering, it is just some characteristics in the mind, some phenomena, some movement of consciousness. And that cannot be your answer. No matter how clever you are, whatever you're perceiving, whatever you've learned, it cannot be the truth that I speak about. Because truth is not going to be, some holy learning or something of some concepts or something. Because if it is, it would mean that I have to keep on learning, and I must never forget that learning. It has to be something much, much more natural than that. And that is the secret and the beauty of it. This is why I say to you, forget about all the things about what you want to do, where you want to go, who you've thought you were, all the memories about what's happened to you in the past and why you feel difficult and how your mind behaves and so on. Just let your head rattle. Let your head rattle around with all these ideas and so on. You already show that you are aware of that. Now, is there any light in that statement that if you are aware that your mind is creating all this nonsense, then you must know you're not your mind. I mean, I will say this to anybody. You must know I am not my mind. But why then does something have such a powerful influence? Well, one, because whatever we have believed in the mind somehow has a way of illustrating its energy in the body, which is the body also. We identify with the body. I identify with this body. I don't identify with that body. When I feel pain in this body. I don't feel pain in that body. So everything is to do with this body. So whatever is believed in the mind, it begins to somehow manifest energetically in this body. You see? So because of that, we take the mind and its superstitions, its projections, its imaginations, its memories, its aspirations, its attachments and all of that as powerful readings about who we are. But I throw all of this away. I throw all of it away. Now you may ask how I throw it away. I don't know. I throw all of it. Maybe the throwing of it happened because it was discovered here something which is none of that, which is not that, and which that could not really touch. It could only touch it if I kept believing I'm the person who is being attacked by my mind. As long as I keep believing I'm the person who the mind is screwing up with, then I was still inside that bubble. But I put it that there's an awareness, and you speak from this awareness of what is going on inside the bubble. But you believe the bubble to be actual reality for you. Whereas for me, it is nothing at all. And the very fact that I believe and know, actually not just believe, and seeing that it is nothing at all, which you also see. You also see it's nothing at all. Not just I see, you also see. But in spite of seeing, something still goes back and play with the same thing. You say, but I know it's not real, but it's like a reflex. And some part of me goes back and starts to pick up the same, going back into the dustbin of what I've thrown away, looking for whole half-dead cigarettes to smoke again or something like that. Now, there's a watching of this. And the watching of this is not actually going in the bin. But it watches something calling itself I going into the bin. Now, can you follow what I'm saying now? Something is here which doesn't go into any bin to look for anything, but it watches something arising in the body as the feeling I, which is the most intimate knowledge that can be had in the whole of creation, is the knowledge I, or I am. Because when you say I, you embrace something. But I'm now pointing to, I'm going to use the word a sort of space or an intelligence inside, a spirit, you may say, which really is, that is capable of observing the sense of I, the sense, something called me, which I may call personality, which is my education, my learning, my self-belief, my self-image, identity, whatever, going through the motions, going through the life, doing the things which cause pain to itself, and that feels so intimate. And yet there's a knowingness here, but that doesn't feel intimate. Well, it cannot feel intimate, in fact, because it is you, but you are not yet accustomed to taking ownership of your real identity at that level. At the moment, we are mostly concerned with the identity we have shaped through the sense of presence, the natural sense of being, because you're alive, and that is mixed up with conditioning. And that is what amounts to the person we take ourselves to be today. And that's the only region in which the self can have varying readings of itself, which we call humanity. Some people, it's a mixture of the beingness, the aliveness, and the conditioning, and the belief in that conditioning. It varies from person to person. Some people have less belief, less pull to that. When you don't have so much pull to that, you must be in a state more of consciousness, where you can merely just observe without feeling that you're sucked into the drama of identity. Even now as you're speaking, I hear this. I hear you saying that you are behind watching. You don't realize what you're saying to me, but I realize what you're saying to me. But you're not conscious what you're saying, because in your words and in your tonality, I hear that you're seeing from the place of truth, but you're not aware that you're seeing from the place of truth, because your identity has a certain amount of attractiveness, a certain amount of power, and it's almost like spreading its hands in front of your face and you cannot see. But something inside sees that my mind is behaving like this, and I ask you, who is really bothered by it? Who is bothered by it? And I'll tell you who is bothered by it. The idea you have of who you are is bothered by it. Your learned self is bothered by it. Your conditioned self is bothered by it. But your pure being is untouched by it. The fact is that we are so immersed in identity and conditioning that all the energy seems to be going into the person, into the personality, into the identity is going there. And it's from this place you ask, can you help me from this place? And I'm trying to pull you back, this concept back into, to say, but you're here. You're here, but your personality is here. And because you believe your personality is here, everything is coming back to here. You're talking, oh, now this will feel painful, but okay, when you meditate, you come back to a bit here. You feel a bit more calm, more relaxed, but you're still not here. This is not the meditator. The meditator is somewhere a bit back from the person. It recedes back. But even when it recedes back, you say, oh yes, really I feel so peaceful now. I really wish I could stay here. That's still not the self yet. but it is somehow the identity which is experiencing the effect of grace, and it's back here. And that's why I say, but you can watch also the meditator also, or the attempt at meditation based upon an identity of someone who wants to find the ultimate truth. But all this is still the play here. The play was here as the person, and the presence, the person presence. Now it comes back to here, which is more presence. So it can more sort of taste the quality of meditation and somehow detachment. But it's still not here. This one speaks not. This one cannot be touched with this finger. This body is only a metaphor for this. This one has never been touched. This is the place I point you to not to reach, but to somehow intuitively recognize that it is not a physical place. It's not even an emotional place particularly. It's not a place of ideologies or philosophies or belief even. It is pure beyond any of this. It's not an object that can be touched. No maps can point to it. But yet it is your intuitive home, because it's even home is not right place. Home is not even a name for it properly. You see, where is the address of that which is infinite? How can it have a home? Infinity is itself and its home. And I'm not now speaking about anything that has any distance. You have no distance. You cannot leave yourself, not even for a micro millionth of a millimeter. You cannot leave yourself. The only way it can happen is only that this dream, which we call Maya or whatever it is, cause us to believe that we are other than what we are. And even to say these things is not enough. Some people, it's enough. Just the breath before they become the word also is enough to throw you back into yourself. For others, it's like the identity is clinging to life. He said, but Mooji, I know that you're speaking, yes, ultimately, but right now, could you help me here? Could you help me here in this place where I'm sick and I'm saying, still you're speaking dreams, talking. But because the passion, the life force, the investment of energy is here in the mixture of presence and personality. And it is not stable. The wind is just like we're watching the weather forecast. The weather is always changing. Even the weather in this place of presence is changing somehow. Something is changing. But there's a place that is untouched by weather. It is not attractive to the mind because the mind cannot spend it, you see. The mind has to play with what it can spend. It wants to spend its money. It wants to spend its energy. It wants to spend its potential. But the self is not potential even. As I said today, the self is not a state of evolution even. All this belongs to the dynamic consciousness, the movement that occurs. We are the self. You are the self. Even you speak foolishness, you are the self. But you are the self that is under some kind of hypnosis and has not yet understood or recognized its own completeness. So everybody is speaking from the position of identity, to the extent of your identity. Everybody who comes and speak, I just can assess how much identity they have in them. If they have less identity, they can assimilate what I'm speaking, not just at a word level, but energetically, and they will undress themselves of all the concepts very easily. If they have more identity with the body and with a sense of doership or egoic autonomy, it will take longer time because you have to break down many defenses to come there. But thankfully, it's not just the words alone that are working on you. If you have an attitude of yes inside your heart, then my powers or the power of the self can act upon you more broadly, because then you have said yes. And when you say yes, then somehow something is opened up. So it's not just words, because some people come and they're only saying yes to the words. So they're listening to the words. I say, okay, I don't understand what you mean. Yeah, I'm trying to get it. And they put all the energy in their mind. But one who comes with yes, they say, they just collapse. They just come, they collapse somehow. They say, yeah, I'm here. And then somehow the Spirit lifts them up and somehow renews their mind or something like that. That's why I encourage people, be open and just say yes. But don't ask me what yes, where does your yes reach? It's just more broad. I hope this doesn't sound too complicated to you. Because actually, if it's complicated, only because the words make it like that. But to try and bring back the understanding is very important, Understanding is more important than any practice. Because you can be practicing, but you without understanding. Like I meet some people, they could recite the Quran from beginning, recite. And some people can recite Bible also. But when you ask them about the meaning, and they probably don't have the depth of understanding. They're just reciting, like a parrot or something. So understanding is important, and satsang, with me at least, I put out to try and take out also to show you the misunderstanding, and to point you to where your actual position is, rather than where, through conditioning, you have come to position yourself. If the position is wrong, like if you're listening on the basis of just being a person, just using your intellect and your identity as a body or something like that, or as a person, you are not going to get what I'm speaking. Because the person listens always, well, if I get this, then I can get that, and so on. And I say that liberation is not for the person, it is from the person even. Now, in practical terms, what are we doing? What we can do? I just tell you, whatever you're thinking, all of this, I would want to turn your face the other way, look this way, forget all about all of that. Because that is just the noise that comes out of confusion and all kind of mixed upness. And even energetically, I can't answer. Because maybe energetically, you're still asking from the noise. And how am I going to speak to the noise? I can only speak towards the silence. But sometimes the noise is there's so much faithfulness, so much loyalty to the noise, that there's no room for real listening. Which is not a heady listening, it's just a listening that occurs inside your being. So I try to encourage you to forget about all of this stuff. Forget about techniques. Forget about all the practices. Forget about mantras for a moment. Not always, because some mantras, if you are a mantra temperament, then I can say, okay, you say, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram, or something, Namah Shivaya, or whatever. And that does help, actually, to purify energetically, to purify and refine the mind stuff. It can help and to bring a kind of, because when you're peaceful and calm, then what I'm saying becomes just like water being poured into water. But if you're not peaceful, it's like I'm mixing oil and water. It's not going to mix. So the easiest way to get you into a position where you can assimilate smoothly is to tell you, can you throw all this stuff aside? Just leave all this stuff aside. Leave all this stuff aside. Like you're in a burning building. You're in a burning building, and the only way you can come out is to remove all your clothes. Then you can come out through this little gap. But if you wear even a vest, even a bikini, you won't be able to come out. And what I mean by that is, don't hold on to any concepts at all, anything. Throw everything aside, leave everything aside. You see? So can anybody do this now? Just drop everything. Like you're a newborn. A newborn baby doesn't know anything. You don't know anything at all. Can you be like this? How are you going to do it? Is you have an ability inside to drop everything, to turn away. Some people can do it, some people can't. They have too vivid a mind that is materialistic, and they can't get out of it. They're just walking around in this kind of mausoleum of ideas. But some people can say, actually, yeah, okay, I don't touch anything at all. Don't touch anything at all. Because right now, your mind is so rubbish that everything you touch, it sets on fire and makes rubbish. It puts rubbish. Can and you're not your mind. So can you turn away from it? I mean, it still has some pulling power. Your attention will tend to go, but you're just going to, each time you remember, you just cut it. You don't do. For 1 second, can you even try to do that? Like, I meet you, I don't know nothing about your past because it's not important for me. I know nothing about your future because you don't have one. And about the present, it's this. No time for knowing. So, what is left? The past is just another idea. It doesn't exist for me. Future, it doesn't exist for you. And present, it's this. Even this is past already. It's past already. No time for learning anything. So where are you now? Find me. You cannot have any idea about present. Any idea about the present already passed. So now where are you? That is my natural being. That's myself. Where's you? Don't think.
I feel I'm here.
Yes. And here is what?
It's not in time.
That's right. Any effort?
No.
How are you going to come out of something which is no effort? Almost nothing in this universe is effort. Even something giving birth to something, squeezing through that birth canal. It's just life doing its thing. Has to be done. If you surrender, it's just being done. It's nobody doing. The life force is doing. So if effort is happening through here, it's okay. It's just the life force doing. It's not this. You stay as this timelessness. Beyond even the concept of timelessness. And then we have met. It has to be like this. It cannot be that you are trying to do something and as Mooji says, I must hang on to this. No, hanging on. There's nobody can hang on to timelessness. Timelessness doesn't know you. It doesn't know me. Greater than you and me. Just this. Then in this, everything can happen. Everything is being done. Everything is happening. Everything is happening. You're not the one taking account of the life, writing down the numbers of the life. It's not for you. What you're going to do tomorrow, you have no idea what you're going to do the next minute. This is your freedom. Only those who are bound are concerned about the next minute. They have to be concerned because the next minute is also bound. They are searching for freedom. But the one who is free has no minutes. No past, no future, no present. They're not in that space. And your mind is here to steal this from you, to cover your eyes, to cover your heart, so you don't see, the excellence of your own being. And you cannot see it with these eyes because only the mind is looking through these eyes mostly. But behind the minds looking through these eyes, there's the infinite one, the one who has no time. So there's nothing more to understand than this. Nothing to learn at all. Nothing to learn. If you have done this now, you see, you've done it. You have found what is effortless, what is timeless. So you don't have to learn anything at all. You don't have to say any mantra. You don't have to go to any church. You don't have to go anywhere at all. Because you have found and discovered you are that which they're going to church to find. They're going to the temple to find. They're going to the mosque to find. This. Great temples and monuments are built to honor this, which itself is formless. And because it's not in time, nothing in time can take it. Anything that's happening in time is only an appearance, a shadow in time. Time itself is a shadow for this. There's no waiting. Waiting is something to do with time. I've been trying to get the people to come to this, see this. It's not even this. Even this was a billionth of a second faster. It's still slower than this. Because this is not in time. This is in time. But this is not in time. So nothing in time can surprise this. If you don't find this, then you must pick up religion, you must pick up spirituality, you must pick up learning, you must pick up mantra, you must pick up prayers, you must pick up pilgrimage, you must pick up many things. Yoga, you must pick up something. Clairvoyance, you must pick up visions, you must pick up dreams, you must pick up all these things, illusions. But if you know this, to know this is to be this.